Oh man, where do we go with Jharel Cotton? He's being drafted as the 70th starting pitcher in redraft leagues, 258th overall. That puts him in the middle of the 21st round. Now, at that value, I think there's tremendous upside. However, I'm cautioning people to beware when it comes to Jharel Cotton. It's not that he can't be a good pitcher, but the hype surrounding him right now, to me, is a little premature. It's been noted that the move to Oakland is a good one for his repertoire. And, the truth be told, the Dodgers and the A's development staffs aren't exactly worlds apart. So it's not like moving to Oakland is going to completely change who he is as a pitcher. Sure, the park helps somewhat. Um, and while his career minor league numbers are pretty to look at, especially his K rate, K per nine rate of over 10, you know, throughout pretty much every stop he's made. His major league debut showed some flaws behind that luster. His strikeout total took a bit of a tumble. He gave up an alarming number of home runs. And despite that, he still finished with a 2.12 ERA and a 0.82 whip. I mean, those are just sparkling numbers. But it's such a small sample size, just 29 innings thrown. So if you want to accept the good, you have to also be willing to accept the bad. And again, it was a small sample size, but he gave up too many home runs, and his K rate dropped to mid sevens from what was once always over a 10. So
Mm.
he can be, he can very much be a serviceable major league arm and on the better half of that. But if the K's per nine are just average at this level, and if he's gonna, oh, I'm sorry, if the K's, stay where they are now that he's in the majors, he's gonna have to repeat on his control of 1.23 walks per nine that he showed in his major league debut. And
Mhm.
he's been much closer to a 3 per 9 walks guy throughout his entire career. So I don't know that that's repeatable. And all that spells not what people want to think he's going to blossom into.
Sure, and I think there's some people that are incredibly high on Cotton, and I can understand being wary on that. But when you look at the fact that he's the 70th pitcher off the board, he's going, in the same range as somebody that we talked about recently on three pitchers with DeSclafani. I think I'd rather own Cotton because of the upside. This is another guy that's coming from that Dodgers player development organization. They do a great job developing pitchers. He's also another guy, much like Jose De Leon, that was a late round, 20th plus round fine for the Dodgers. They cashed in on it when they needed to make a playoff push. Obviously, they were able to re-sign Rich Hill, but now not Josh Reddick. But both needed players, and I can see why they made that deal. He's a good fit in Oakland, and I think for a few reasons. Though he is a little homer prone, he's definitely a fly ball pitcher. That fits well with his dimensions. He's somebody that gets an extreme amount of pop-ups and weak fly balls as well. So I think that helps. He's not somebody that's going to be relying on Oakland's infield defense as a ground ball pitcher, which is pretty poor. So I think that's also going to help him a little bit. The outfield defense is much better than the infield defense for Oakland. But he's also a guy that's been missing bats throughout his career. He's shown the ability to get elite strikeout numbers. I don't know if that necessarily continues. It certainly peeled back a little bit upon his debut, which is a few weeks after he was traded to Oakland. But there are some great trends. I mean, he has a nice arsenal of pitches that he throws all of them for strikes. He's got a fastball that he has a few different grips on. Throws it as a four-seamer. Also has a two-seamer grip and a cutter. Throws them all from the same release point as his very good changeup, which might be his best pitch. Actually has a lot of screwball movement. Take that, Brett Honeywell. You're not the only guy with a screwball type pitch. Cotton has one as well. He's a bit homer prone, like you said, but as I said, there's some good and some bad there. He's going to let up some long fly balls when he misses on the pitch, but he's also going to get a lot of weak pop-ups, weak ground balls, that sort of thing. He's somebody that I'm definitely taking a late round flyer on in all formats, but he's not somebody that I'm going to, trade a higher grade prospect that might be a little bit further off for in Dynasty. He's somebody that I'm willing to take a chance on. I don't like him as much as Jesselman, but he is definitely still somebody that I do like. I'm a Cotton fan. There's some good stuff there, especially when you look at what the investment is.
You kind of alluded to it. It's more of a dynasty concern when it comes to Cotton. And, I
Yeah.
guess that would be probably the reason you're watching a show titled Three Prospects. But, you know, when I say, just the fact that he's a 70th starting pitcher in redraft kind of shows you what his dynasty value is, that people are, placing a premium on him. People want him. People are taking him. 21st round is not, depending on how deep you go, it's still on the majority of rosters. So in dynasty leagues, given his youth, even though he's 25 now, more so his limited exposure, there's still kind of the allure and the illusion of what he could be. People are jacking up the price on him, as they should be, because the demand is there.
Yeah.
But if you're one of the guys not owning him and are looking to acquire him, all I'm saying is, pump the brakes slightly. He still could be very good, but I wouldn't, like you said, go all out giving up a top grade prospect to get this guy. If you have like an Anderson Espinoza who's still like 2 years away, and the guy's saying, "Oh, I'll give you Cotton for Espinoza," I don't know that I would do that. It's kind of the point I'm trying to make with that. So
Exactly.
that's kind of, I think, what Ralph and I are both agreeing to with Cotton. So for everybody that's been asking, do Jharel Cotton, do Jharel Cotton, do Jharel Cotton, I hope we satisfied your taste buds and your desires.